Hi, my name is Justin Yomot, and welcome back to the CNT podcast. Today I have Brad Case.
What's going on, Justin? Thanks for having me on today.
Thanks for coming on. I have some questions, so let's get right on into it. What made you fall in love with baseball?
Honestly, I think I've always just kind of loved baseball since I was a little kid. Like my earliest memories are me and my dad in my front yard, him throwing wiffle balls to me and me trying to hit it as far as I can. And honestly, for a long time, I remember being like 4 or 5 years old, wanted to break Babe Ruth's home run record. But obviously, I'm a pitcher now, so that didn't come true. But for all of time, I grew up pretty much 10 minutes away from Yankee Stadium, so I was always going to those games growing up and being a part of that fandom. So I baseball's just always been in my blood.
That's super cool. I also grew up as a big baseball fan. I never lived super close to the stadiums, but I always went to games when I could.
What's your team? Who's your team?
So I was born in Chicago, so I'm a big Cubs fan, but I've moved out to Seattle, so I'm a Cubs and then Manos fan.
Oh man, the Mariners. That's tough, buddy.
Yeah. I haven't even made playoffs in my entire lifetime.
I know. Yeah, they haven't made it since what, 2001?
Yeah.
Time.
Next question is, what is something you don't like about baseball or something that you would like to add?
Ooh, something I don't like about baseball. Hmm. Uh, See, I'm conflicted about this because I definitely think that in the big leagues, pitchers shouldn't hit anymore. I think the DH should be, in both the AL and the NL. I think that's going to do a lot of good for the game. But I honestly want to get a couple of bats in first. I'm very selfish about it. I want to get a couple at bats in Double A, where I think I'm going to be this year. Um, I get to hit, so I'm pretty excited to get my at bats in. But after this year, I'll be very okay with the DH being put in place, and I can finally hang up the bat for good.
hmm Yeah, I don't know. I like the idea of universal DH, but sometimes I've enjoyed watching pitchers get a hit. I remember one Cubs game where John Lester had a bunt walk off for us. So
I think I remember that.
yeah, however, I do feel like if they're gonna have DH, they need to do no DHs or DHs everywhere.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
So when did you figure out pitching was your thing?
I mean, geez, I mean, like my whole life, I was growing up. I was always the really tall kid that could throw super hard, but for the longest time, I had no idea where the ball was going. It would either be down the middle or it'd be, against the backstop because I just wasn't sure where the ball was going at all. I would say about my going into my senior year of high school is when I finally kind of honed things in. I stopped growing because if you don't know, I'm 6'7", so I'm a pretty big guy. And I finally got put into a weight room and started, getting building up some muscle, getting stronger legs. And my senior year is when I finally started to, figure out how to pitch, pitch in, pitch out, throw breaking balls, throw change ups, all that stuff. And really started understanding like the finer points of pitching. And then, going into college, it just kept on accelerating and getting better and better.
That's super cool. That's really cool.
Are you a
What is
pitcher?
no, I'm when I played I was a left fielder.
Okay, nice.
I did one inning of pitching when I played.
How'd it go?
Uh Pretty sure I watched everyone I faced and let in I think 2 or 3 runs.
Hey, it happens, man. It happens to the best of us.
hmm what is your dream pitching situation?
Winning the World Series. Playing pitching game 7 of the World Series to win it at home in front of the Pirates fans. That'd be the best thing in the world.
That'd be super cool.
Oh yeah.
Hopefully, when you get to do that, the Cubs aren't in the playoffs, and you don't have to go through.
Yeah, they can stay out of our way that year.
Yeah, and then next year they can go back. How did you get your pitches to be as fast as they are?
um just working out, just spending time in the weight room, get my legs strong, and then going out and researching stuff and trying to find information that's going to help me get better. um every I think that especially with this past year where I was kind of locked up and we couldn't really do much. doing research and finding out, different things and different styles and understanding the way guys move was a big key for me. And I think that, geez, I mean, like when I was in high school, like this information wasn't out there. You had to pay a lot of money to try and get this information, but now it's everywhere for free. So I really encourage people to, go find, go find a picture that they like, that they kind of throw like, and then trying to watch them and understand what they do. And then you can go find like breakdown videos and all these pitching coaches on YouTube and Twitter. And there's plenty of information out there to get if you're hungry for it and willing to look for it.
That's super cool. That's really cool. I agree with that. Like, if you want to grow in your aspect of anything, is just go research it.
Exactly.
How do you plan out your routine for a game?
Oh, I'm very meticulous actually right here. I have my black notebook that I write down like all of my routines, all my scouting reports, all of everything in there. I plan out pretty much everything to a T. Like I know an hour before the game, I need to be, I start getting dressed. Actually, before the game, about 3 or 4 hours before the game, I make sure I eat some fried chicken. It's a weird routine I have, but I got into the habit of it. I like it. Do that. Go hour before the game, get dressed, and then I walk out to the bullpen, place down my glasses because I pitch with glasses, place those on the mound, and then walk down and leave a fresh towel with it. Then I'll walk down to the dugout and I'll place this black notebook down there because it's got my scouting report, so I want to see it, during the game. And then, about 30 minutes before I get out to the left field, the right field line, start doing some stretching, start jogging a little bit. 20 minutes before the game, or actually 22 minutes before the game, start playing catch, get out to long toss, get as far as I can go, and then bring it all the way back in. 12 minutes before the game, I get on the mound, throw however many pitches I need, take a deep breath, wait a second, get a drink of water, relax, and then get back on the mound, throw an extra 10 pitches, make sure, one of each, make sure everything's moving the way I want it. And then I, say good job to the catcher. We head into the dugout. And then 2 minutes before the game starts, national anthem happens, and then we're off to the races. So I plan out everything pretty well.
That's that's definitely down to a T. That's super cool. I mean, you mentioned earlier that you always eat fried chicken before games. I mean, obviously that's probably a superstition of yours. I mean, I hear that a
Yeah.
lot. I mean, I interviewed one guy who says whenever he's on a hot streak, he'll eat the same thing every day. And so one time he was hitting great for a whole week and was having the same meal every day for the entire week.
Who was it?
That was Tolroyd of the Chicago Cubs.
All right, so I'll make sure if I face him, I'll try to mess up his eating routine so he doesn't get a head off me.
Yeah. Uh, Hopefully it either works or it won't. Maybe. What is something that you hope to improve on in 2021?
Hmm. I think my year. Are we talking statistics wise?
Anything that you want to do.
Anything? I mean, obviously, we're all trying to get better every single day. If I can have a better ERA, great. If I can throw harder, great. If I can have more strikeouts, great. But overall, I think the most important thing is, to do the best I can to try and build a winning culture with my team. Because the minors, that's one thing that's very evident. It's not, the biggest emphasis isn't about winning. It's about, developing and like getting better. But I think if I can be a part of, building a winning culture, building a winning mindset, then, that's going to be my job to do. And, that's the thing that's going to carry over to Pittsburgh and eventually, lead us to winning a World Series because that's the ultimate goal every year.
I agree with that a lot. And for the next question is, who is someone that you idolize?
Someone I idolize. Hmm. Trying to think. This is a good question. I don't know. It's been really cool. I'm working out down here in Florida right now at this place called Cressy. So I got a chance actually to work out with a lot of major leaguers. Noah Syndergaard, Corey Kluber, Justin Verlander, a lot of those guys. And I think I gotta say Kluber just because of how determined and focused he is, and how like you can tell like when he wakes up in the morning, like he wakes up, he's like, okay, I'm gonna go do this, and then I'm gonna do this. He's very methodical, gets his stuff done, and has a plan of attack of what to do throughout the whole day, and then obviously out onto the mound too.
That's super cool. And to kind of follow that up is who's your favorite player to watch currently and of all time?
All time. Phew. Of all time, I mean, I'm a New York guy. I grew up a Yankee fan. I had posters of him in my room my whole life. It's got to be Derek Jeter, because he was the man. He's the guy. Um, everyone my age, loves Jeter because he was, I was born in '96 and he came up in '96. So like his whole, I got to watch, like, except for the first, couple years because I wasn't old enough to remember. But I watched the rest of his career, so that was pretty cool. Right now, oof, there's a lot of great guys to watch. DeGrom, Cole, um, Verlander, although he's been hurt a little bit. Bieber, Clevenger, Darvish, Bauer. Jeez, the league is a lot of fun to watch these days. I gotta say, you know what? I gotta say Bauer because he definitely looks like he's having a lot of fun out there.
I think he had obviously had a phenomenal 2020 winning the Cy Young. I'm excited to
Oh
see
yeah,
what he can do for the Dodgers this year.
I know. Yeah, it's gonna be good to see. That team's gonna be nasty.
Yeah, it's definitely a top two seed,
Hmm.
top two team. Yeah. What was it like when you got your first baseball card?
My first baseball card.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know about my first ever baseball card, but there was what was the place called? It was a place in my town growing up in Scarsdale. It was called like Scoops or something. No, it wasn't that. It was some baseball ref. I can't remember what it was. But every they would give you like your ice cream, but they would give it in like the little helmet that you
Mm-hmm.
get at a baseball game. They would give us that, and then it would always come with like a pack of baseball cards. I don't remember who was my first baseball card, but it was definitely I did. It was definitely from there.
Mm-hmm. What I kind of is when you got your first card of you on it.
My bad, man. Sorry about that.
It's okay. It's okay.
My first card of me on it. I got one when I was in New Bedford for the Bay Sox, which is a collegiate league. They just made cards of all of us and they gave them out, and I thought that was really cool when I got my first card in general. But then when I was in minor league baseball, I got my first card when I was in Greensboro with that team, and they gave me, actually they made them, and then I was already promoted before they got to our before they got to the stadium, so they sent it to me down at high A, and I got it, and it was cool. They sent me a big stack, and it was pretty fun, like look at it and see like myself on a card and my stats, and so the other information on the back was all wrong, but it was still cool to just have my own card.
That is super cool. I mean, I'm a big card collector myself, and so I always dream of maybe getting a card of myself someday.
Yeah, it's definitely something I never really thought about, but it's once I got it and like held it in my hand, I was like, wow, this is kind of surreal.
Hmm. Well, I really appreciate you agreeing to come on the podcast. I had a great time.
Yeah, man. Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Thanks for coming on. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you next week.